All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. If you've got questions for John, just raise your hands and we'll get you a mic.
Hey, John, now that you've seen him up close today, pretty much at his best, the challenge Ohtani posed to you, both on the mound and then as a hitter, what did that show you?
Yeah, he's really good. He was on today, and I thought we made him work early. Pitch count was up, which is kind of what we're shooting for. He kind of dialed it in and, did his thing. It's 4 or 5 pitches. It's 100 miles an hour. It's nasty stuff. So you got to tip your hat to him today.
And then Manoah had his pitch count up early as well. I know we've seen this 100 times, but as he continues to do it, what's allowing him to stay as consistent while hitters are adjusting to him?
For one, he's got really good stuff, and two, he kind of got stronger as the game went on. I thought started slow, his tempo was off, a little bit of trouble with the mound as he usually does, but kind of dialed it in. That was like an old-fashioned pitching duel. They were kind of toe-to-toe there for 7, and really got stronger as he went on. But I think what allows him to go deep is his desire to win, his competitive nature. We saw it in New York too without his best stuff, but today was pretty good.
After 6 innings, you obviously let Manoah keep going. What was the thought process there at that point in the game to let him go out for the 7th inning?
Kind of where our bullpen has been after the Boston series and what he was doing kind of in the innings leading up to that and where they were in the order. So Jimmy had the top of the order if it got to that point, but watching him get stronger and knowing him and his mentality, it made sense to get him out there for the 7th.
Then in the 8th inning, that looked to be a conversation about the strike zone with you and the umpires. Any elaboration?
I lost, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it wasn't so much that pitch there, where we had a conversation. I think it was more pitches to Ohtani. And, guys who have good reputations around the league tend to get, they tend to be, they have good eyes, I guess is the best way to say it. So Jimmy's out there battling his ass off, making good pitches, and it was just a disagreement between me and Shane.
Just on the offensive performance, you said earlier that they were making Ohtani work early. What led to maybe him dialing in, and what did you see? I mean, you didn't see much from the offense today, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think it was... He kind of flipped the script a little bit and went to his heater a little bit more. When you got 100 in your back pocket, it's a pretty good weapon to have. So grinded the at-bats, and then I think when he kind of flipped the switch, we were maybe caught in between, but we're talking about one of the best pitchers in the game, and he was just dialed in today. So you gotta take your licks a little bit, and I mean at the same time appreciate what Alek did against their lineup too.
Just after the 2 games you've been shut out, is there a bit of a come down after the success that you had on the road trip, and how do you sort of get back on track?
I think you can kind of separate them a little bit to where yesterday was a tough game, and it was a long night the night before and all that kind of stuff. And today you can kind of chalk it up to Ohtani being himself. So you try to put him in a vacuum, move on, and you got stripped tomorrow on the mound, and you feel good about it.
Just about the ceremony before the game, everybody was out watching, and you've been a part of this organization for a couple of decades. What was that like for you?
That was really cool. That was really cool, and I think anyone who's a fan of baseball, but especially a fan of the Blue Jays, really appreciated that. Hopefully we can kind of continue to work and get to that point to where people are talking about this team years down the road like they did about that 92 team. But, to see all those guys come back and to have them say what they said and recognize what we're doing, and obviously us appreciating what they did, that season was pretty special.
Is there anyone in particular that you got any time with you were really excited about?
I caught up with Cito. He shot me a text a few months ago when I got the gig, which is awesome. We live pretty close down in Florida. Talked to Dwayne Ward, talked to Tommy Craig, who was my first trainer back in the day. Paul Beeston, caught up with him before the game. So Devo, obviously. So it's cool to see that, that group. And it's just, that was a pretty special time in the organization.
Just one more on Alek. I mean, there's a lot of hype coming into this game, obviously, because of the matchup against Ohtani, the reunion that you're talking about now. The fact that he didn't let the moment get too big for him, what does that show you about him, and how, what's that going to show you down the stretch, because you're going to need that more from him?
Yeah, I think it's more the same from him. He's always up for these big moments and these challenges, and you know, the thing that's important and the thing that's impressive about him being so young is in a stage like this with a pregame ceremony and going against, you know, a guy like Shohei, he's up for it, but he's not too up for it, you know, and I think that, you know, just speaks volume to him as a competitor, him as a professional, and how much he's grown. And for him to finish strong the way he did, I think is a really good sign for us going forward.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.